In this video, we're going to recap how to calculate the mean of a set of data. And we're going to do that by looking at these two different classes, Class A and Class B. So actually the data sets look quite different. And they look quite different because Class B is spread out more than Class A. And we're going to look at spread in the next video. But for now, let's just think about what the average of each data set is. So we've looked at two different averages already. One average would be to take the median, which is the middle data point when the data is put in order. But we're going to focus on the mean in this video. So I've already worked out the mean. I know that the mean of Class A is 66 and the mean of Class B is 65. So that actually means that on average, the scores in Class A and Class B are quite similar, even though Class B is more spread out. So let's have a look at Class A's data to work out how to calculate the sample mean. So before we begin, you should know that if you've got a data set X, then we label the first data point X1 and the second data point X2, and we would go all the way down to the last data point, and in this case there's 10 data points, so we'd call it X10. And our sample mean the notation for it is X bar. And you should already know that to work out the sample mean, you add together each of the individual X values. And in general, you would go up to the nth data point, so Xn, if there's n data points. And then you divide by how many data points there are, n. A neater way of writing this would be to use sigma notation, and if you did that, you could write that as the sum of each xi, with I going from 1 up to the last data point. Let's say that there's n data points again, and then we divide that by n. And if you're not sure why we're using this notation, remember that this notation means that you sub in I equals 1 into this expression. So if we sub in I equals 1, we'd get x1. And then you add on, what do you get if you sub in I equals 2, the next value of I? So that would be just x2. And we'd continue subbing in those values of I and adding them all together until we get to this top value of I, which is I equals n. So if I sub in I equals n, I just get xn. So that's just a recap of that notation. So in this example, we would add together each of the x values, so 86 plus 49 plus all the way up to the last data point, which is x10 in this case, which is 49, and then divide by the total number of data points. Here we've got n equals 10 because there's 10 data points, so we divide by 10. And if we work that out, we'd get that x bar is 64.7.